The Elimination Chamber happens in but a few days, so you know what we've got to do. And if you don't, I'm about to tell you, we've got to predict the matches to try and work out if we're smart wrestling fans or if we're dumb as anything. And that's right, I'm tying you and I in together. So what I think, you think too, and you didn't imagine that would be the case when you woke up this morning, did you? But you never know what this crazy world's going to throw at you. So thank you for being one with me, and I'm one with you. And no matter what your problems are, they're my problems too, and my successes are your successes. Breathe. What are we even talking about? We're meant to be predicting the Elimination Chamber, the WWE pay-per-view Sunday. Let's just do it now. Everybody calm down. My name's Simon Miller. Welcome to What Culture Wrestling. Let's kick things off with the pre-show, or kickoff show, if you'd rather spin it that way, because we are going to get Buddy Murphy defending his Cruiserweight Championship against Akira Tozawa. And while on paper that sounds like a damn good contest, it's also a shame that WWE feels that all 205 Live matches, when it comes to a pay-per-view, have to be on the kickoff/pre-show. If you keep doing that, WWE, all you're telling me is that it's not that important, and it should be important. 205 Live actually gets better week in, week out. It's just a bunch of dudes working their ass off trying to create some noise and saying, look, remember all of us? We're really good at what we do. And Buddy Murphy, you could argue, is at the top of that chain, hence why he's the champion, and also why he probably shouldn't be losing that gold at the Elimination Chamber. And that's why, much like the Royal Rumble, I wouldn't do anything silly here, and I would just stick to task. Let Buddy Murphy keep his title, let him have a great match with Tozawa, allow Tozawa to like it get this close, but then unfortunately, it gets taken away from him. And also, Buddy Murphy, when we do get to ups and downs for Elimination Chamber on Monday, I promise to get the name of your finishing move right this time. So far, I think I've made a mistake on every single occasion because I'm a bald idiot. Either way, Buddy Murphy will win, I hope. Right, main card now. We'll start off with Shane McMahon and The Miz, also known as the best tag team in the world, because they'll be taking on the Usos, who probably actually are one of the best tag teams in the world. And this one is interesting when you open up your ear and all those rumors from the land of the internet go in there. That could actually shape the outcome of this fight. The two prominent ones going around are that A, Shane McMahon and The Miz are actually going to feud at WrestleMania. They're going to have a match. So this seems like a good time to start teasing that and maybe even breaking them up. And B, the Usos' contracts are actually coming due in April. They haven't signed a new one. WWE wants to keep them sweet. And a good way to keep a tag team sweet is to not only give them the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, but also promise them, look, we are going to build this division and make sure it gets back up to the top of the card where it damn well belongs. This would, of course, mean that we're only going to get 1 month as McMiz as the champions, but I think if we tell the story well and we plant some seeds of doubt, that could actually create some friction. And yeah, then going into WrestleMania, you probably could get away with doing Shane McMahon versus The Miz. Also, I would like Jimmy and Jay to be the champions, because they're just really, really good. I also think it's important when we start talking about the show of shows in April that whatever we do shine a big spotlight onto your tag teams, and the absolute best way to do that is to have a team like the Usos killing it on WrestleMania. Just let them go crazy, let them go wild, and let every single fan that watch goes, I should tune into Raw and SmackDown for the tag teams, and then it don't matter what AEW is doing with the Young Bucks or whatever. Of course it does matter, but at least there'll be parity there. They're pushing tag teams and so are Vince McMahon and his friends. And that said, with all due respect to Shane McMahon and The Miz, I actually think they're doing a good job. Just, they're not the Usos. So that's why I'll put my neck on the line and say that Jimmy and Jay will surprise us all and take those titles away. And as I say that, I don't feel confident at all. My gut is kind of saying, Simon, what? Don't go with that. That's ridiculous. But what is life if you're not going to take a risk here and there? And what a risk this is. Sharing my thoughts, sharing my feelings with a bunch of YouTube friends. We're also going to get Finn Balor taking on the Intercontinental Champion Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush. And now I think it actually is a handicap match, even though I swear at one point it was a triple threat, but it just magically changed. Not like it makes a damn bit of difference, because on Raw, we did have the visual of Finn Balor pinning Bobby Lashley, which means now at the Elimination Chamber, yes, I believe Bobby Lashley is going to retain his belt, probably with ease, because that's just what WWE does when Finn Balor's involved. There is a get-out-of-jail-free card here in the sense that I'm sure Lio Rush is going to make an absolute nuisance of himself and probably get chucked around like a child until the distraction is so great, Finn Balor is over there and Bobby Lashley gives him the spear and then gets the pinfall over Balor, which yes would mean for the second consecutive pay-per-view The demon is lost. Then we can try and figure out what we're going to do with all of them heading into WrestleMania, because I don't have a clue, but I just hope, I'm going to keep everything crossed, that the Intercontinental title itself stops just treading water. At one point, I even forgot it was on the line in this match, because WWE just doesn't make a big deal of it at all. Because we clearly all did something terrible in a past life, we're also going to get Baron Corbin versus Braun Strowman. And is it me, or does this feel like the 742nd time we've seen this in around about the last 6 months? And I don't really want to see it again, especially because now it's like been telegraphed from a mile away. Through social media, WWE came out and said, oh, Strowman versus Corbin is now a no DQ match, which means Kurt Angle's probably going to get involved and Drew McIntyre's probably going to get involved, and you're just going to get another big schmoz like we saw on Raw last week, and we saw the Raw before that, and I think we saw on a Raw back in October 2018. And who knows, maybe Dolph Ziggler returns as well, just so we can have all those combo wrestlers doing it again. And I don't mean to be negative, I don't like to be negative, but someone tell me the positives of Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin. And I like both. I like Braun, I like Baron. I just don't want to see this relationship continue. It does mean that Strowman could actually lose here, because Drew McIntyre can get involved, and then you segue into that program. But the real issue is, I don't care, and I really should care. There's like some hot tamales in this. Braun Strowman, he's a big dude. He's being pushed to the moon, at least so he should be. Drew's the next big thing. So why am I sitting here just shrugging my shoulders? Also, Braun actually needs a win right now, because I can't remember the last time he did. He's getting a bit like Bray Wyatt. I think management believe they can do whatever they want with Braun, and it doesn't matter, but as we saw with the Eater of Worlds, that is absolutely not true. I learned long ago not to bet against the monster among men, so I'm just going to imagine that WWE sticks to task, and yes, somehow Braun will win. Or if he doesn't, it will be because there's some nonsense. Maybe we'll even get to like WCW levels where it's supposed to be no DQ, but then don't realize, oh no, we shouldn't have done that, and we get a DQ anyway, or the ref just stops it. And when that does happen, you are allowed to smash up your TVs. That is the rule. If nothing else, I just hope on the other side, we break all these guys up and we can enter something fresh like laundry. Also, since this has been going on since the end of last year, where's all my changes I was promised? And also, in those changes, I was also told that I and we together, the fans, are the authority. That is what Triple H, Vince, Shane and Stephanie McMahon told us. And here I am, stood here 2019 February, and I don't feel like I got no power over anything. That was a lie. Hilariously, we also have Ruby Riott versus Ronda Rousey, and boy howdy, do I feel sorry for the former. She has been an afterthought through all of this, and as she herself said, the match got announced on Twitter. Plus, there was barely any build on Raw, and it's already been overshadowed by the fact that on SmackDown, Charlotte told them both, don't worry, I'm going to be sitting front and center for that match, which again kind of makes you realize what's going to happen. Charlotte will get involved at some point. I do like this idea that Ronda Rousey wants to take on every single person that's on the roster before she potentially leaves after WrestleMania, and Ruby Riott deserves that shot, but why couldn't we put a bit more stock into this? I do not believe in any dimension, so even if I opened a portal now and went into a brand new universe, that Ruby Riott is capable of winning this match, or if she is, will not be for that damn title. But I guess the ending will be fun. Flair will somehow inject herself into this, and it could even bring out Becky Lynch, who wants to seek revenge against Charlotte and also to try and bring some justice back to the situation. I mean, you don't have to do that. Actually, keeping Lynch off TV longer will make the absence grow and that love be like, oh, come back, Becky. We miss you. But like, if they all get involved, we all love Ronda, we love Charlotte, we all love Becky, we love this feud. Well, you know, it's kind of controversial, but still, at least it's making people emote. And it could even be the big rubber stamp of Elimination Chamber that we talk about coming out the other side. Rousey will likely 99.9% win this though, or like I say, she won't win, but it will be via a DQ, so she keeps her championship belt. That's what I want to drive home. In no scenario do I think that Ruby Riott is going to be the champion come Monday Night Raw. And if I'm wrong, I'm gonna look like a bigger dick than usual. But let's draw a line under it. Let's double down. Let's put some stakes on it. If somehow Ronda does lose that championship, I will dress up as the gobbledygooker on a future episode of Ups and Downs. How I do that, I don't know. I don't know where you can get a gobbledygooker costume from, but I'll find one. I'll find one. Our first of the Elimination Chamber matches now, as Daniel Bryan is gonna defend his hemp naturally fallen oak-made WWE title and defend it against Randy Orton, against AJ Styles, against Samoa Joe, against Kofi Kingston, and against Jeff Hardy. We found out on SmackDown that Randy Orton will enter the structure last, and I really do think this is gonna rock, especially because I can't figure it out. When I look forward to WrestleMania 35 and think, where's AJ Styles going to be? Where's Daniel Bryan going to be? Where's Randy Orton going to be? I come up with one big question mark, and usually I'll use the direction to inform the present, but I can't, because it's a road to nowhere. Of course, a small part of me just wants Kofi Kingston to win because his performance on SmackDown this week was so good, but that also seems like a left field decision. I mean, when you actually take a step back and run it through your brain, you'd have to imagine that is what Mustafa Ali was meant to do. He got injured, so WWE went, look, Kofi, you're brilliant, you rock. You go do it instead. And he did. Ultimately, though, I do think Daniel keeps his pride possession because, as always, the point we always come back to, there's no reason for him to lose it. And if you would like him to lose it, do it at WrestleMania, because whoever beats him for it, that just feels like a bigger deal. That's the beauty of the showcase of the Immortals. And maybe he does take on Mustafa Ali once he gets cleared, and we have the biggest surprise we've had in a long time. And you could do that. I've said this before. If your main event is going to be Charlotte versus Becky versus Ronda, plus you've got a Brock Lesnar Seth Rollins Universal title match to get in there, the WWE title is probably going to be in the middle of the card. If it is in the middle of the card, you can get away with giving it to Mustafa Ali. And can you just think of that? Who would have predicted that even 2 months ago, that Mustafa Ali could become WWE champ? I'm talking about change a minute ago. That's some darn change. Anyway, that rant aside, Daniel Bryan keeps his organic belt. Main event time now, and it is our other Elimination Chamber match, and I am quite pumped for this, especially because everyone is saying whoever does win the first ever WWE Women's Tag Team Championship is going to be able to be on both Raw and SmackDown, and I'm going to keep everything crossed. That becomes a thing across all the titles, because you know how hard it is to explain when new people want to watch wrestling, and the first thing they always ask is, why they're two world champions? You have to go, well, no, one is a universal champion, so come on now. And as for the women's titles, well, just deal with it. But it is the Hug and Boss connection taking on Tamina and Nia Jax, taking on the Riott Squad, taking on Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, taking on Carmella and Naomi, who are also taking on the Iconics. There they all are. The one thing I can guarantee is that visually, this is going to look like an absolute mess, because you could potentially have 12 people in the ring at the same time, but that also means at least one of these teams is going to lose and get out of there pretty quick. Who's going to draw the short straw? I think it may be Naomi and Carmella, because they were just thrown together like, I don't even know, but just did. Someone went, oh, just put them together, and someone went, yeah, I've got no other ideas, okay, let's do it. There is only one winner in my mind, though, and it is Sasha Banks and Bayley. They have been through the absolute ringer over the last 12 months or so, including that, are they going to feud? Are they not going to feud? Now they're friends. Now they hate each other. Now they're friends again. And all that, I can forget about all of that, and I can move on if you give a proper babyface tag team complete with two wrestlers who are badass the chance to become the first ever women's tag team champions. I like that. Do it. My worry is there is this idea, this plan, that actually you give it to Nia Jax and Tamina, the bad guys, because then at WrestleMania you have the feel-good moment, which we've already discussed, and that's where Sasha Banks and Bayley get them instead. But don't do that. Don't do that. Not when we're talking about brand new belts. When it's brand new belts, I want a feel-good moment now, today. I don't know what's going to happen by April 7th. Aliens could come down and laser us all, and I don't want to be standing there about to be lasered and go, if only the Hug and Boss connection had won the championship. So let's just do that. I just said that, let's do it again. Hashtag let's do it. Give it to Bayley, give it to Sasha Banks, allow them to go to Raw and SmackDown, and allow them to climb back up the ladder to the position they should be anyway. And that's it, that's all the matches, unless WWE pulls another one out their ass from nowhere, which they sometimes do. I record these videos, and then I get back to my computer over there, and it just says, oh, there's a new kickoff show match, and it'll be something crazy like Rey Mysterio versus, I don't know, Rich Swann. You're like, how did that come about? Where's the connection there? Oh, we just need to throw something on before the card. My sneaky hope as well is that as we don't really have much expectations for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, that it actually surprises us and is a lot better than that. There's only one way to find out, and that's to tune in Monday to Ups and Downs. Now don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know your predictions, who's going to win, who's going to lose, who's going to get screwed over. Then head over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles about the Elimination Chamber. Follow WhatCulture on Twitter, WhatCulture WWE. And you're here on YouTube, you're here on WhatCulture Wrestling. Get that finger clicking and go and watch some more videos. My name is Simon from WhatCulture. Thank you very much for watching me. And jokes aside, make sure you enjoy the Elimination Chamber. We're about a few months away from WrestleMania. Look forward to Fastlane 2, and it'll make your heart sing. It will make your soul happy. And who knows, if you're bald like me, maybe hair will start growing back on your head. That's why I'm so pumped up all the time. I'm hoping that the positivity springs me a new mane. It's not going to happen. I'll see you soon.